John's in Nottingham. Morning, John.
Hello. Yes, I've watched that Question Time programme many times, and I think Nick Griffin did an excellent job.
Many times?
Well, it's on the internet. You can keep looking at it. I've studied the answers that Griffin gave, and when you consider the bear market atmosphere in there, I think he did remarkably well. In fact,
but you're a member, aren't you? You're a national spokesman for the BNP.
I am. Yes,
I recognise your voice.
And I think that Nick Griffin is a breath of fresh air. I mean, it's all very well catchall talking about violent people in the BNP. What about all these Marxists and leftists who routinely try to disrupt all sorts of BNP meetings using violence and threats to landlords of public houses?
And people like John Kampfner will absolutely disagree with that. He thinks that the best way to confront opinions you don't agree with is, John Kampfner, do you know, to debate with them?
As I say, I mean, I take a completely different view about Nick Griffin's politics and Nick Griffin's performance.
Maybe you're biased.
Well, I may, but I am not disagreeing with the right. Anybody can put themselves up on radio and television, and as long as, in my opinion, they do not incite violence or harassment in any shape or form, they can show themselves up, and the public. I have a great confidence in the good sense of the British public to sort out responsible, decent politicians from others.
I don't think the British public really know a great deal, except what the media have told them, and the media are definitely...
the liberal elite, you mean? The liberal elite?
Well, yes, the international liberal elite.
The international liberal elite. What, the international... the international Zionist liberal elite? Do you want to add that one?
Well, your words, not mine, mate.
No, not my words, your words. I've read your stuff.
You obviously think so, and I'm telling you this, that the poor old British public have been abused by you and the media, and Peter Tatchell. I saw Peter Tatchell turn on Nick Griffin shortly after that Question Time thing. I gave him a really bad time on a corridor somewhere, I think it was in Broadcasting House. And to say that Nick Griffin is a bad man, it's a breath of fresh air. I give the man a medal.
Well, you'll work with him. What's your real name? I recognise your voice. You're BNP National Publicity spokesperson.
The point is this, old boy.
What's your real name, old boy?
Listen. The point is this.
Are you John Walker? I put it to you that you are John Walker.
It doesn't matter. My view is this, that we are abused, and we are in a worse position than those two homosexuals. We get people round causing trouble all the time if they can find us.
Well, that's wrong. That's wrong, and there are many people in the so-called liberal elite and others, conservative elite, who think that's wrong. But listen, let me ask you, was Nick Griffin... Here's a straight question, Mr. Walker. Was Nick Griffin right to put the address of these two men on Twitter, yes or no?
Well, yes, I think it was, because I don't see you complaining when WikiLeaks...
I did. I just did. I
don't remember you complaining.
Well, listen, it was 3 minutes ago. What's wrong with you? Short-term memory.
No, but at the time, listen, mate, at the time you said nothing.
I know I did. I was going on about it. I gave Michael White from The Guardian in an interview a very hard time about it.
Well, maybe you change sides all the time. That's your job in the media. You've really got to give...
Mr. Walker.
You've got to adapt, haven't you, really?
Mr. Walker...
The fact of the matter is that what Nick Griffin's saying is what most people think but dare not talk about. We've got these ridiculous equality laws from Harriet Harman. Why can't we discriminate? People discriminate against me all the time.
Do you want people to be able to say no blacks, no Irish at their B&Bs?
I didn't say that. I think that people should be allowed...
You didn't say it. I'm asking you
to make up their own mind who they are allow in their homes. People won't...
So how do you know? How are they going to tell people who is allowed in their B&B or not without putting a sign up? So to avoid embarrassment, is it not better to put a sign up to say no Pakistanis, no blacks, no Irish? Would that not be better in your ideal world?
Well, we do it the way you people in the media do it. The way you sneakily use words to create false impressions about people. You people are the experts in this, aren't you?
Who's laughing?
You know how it's done.
Who's laughing?
I'm not. Well, who's that fellow Kampfner or somebody? Is that his name, Mr. Kampfner?
Mr. Kampfner, do you want to come in here?
Not enormously, to be honest, Nicky.
David Allison, do you want to come in?
Freedom of expression, not having a conversation about sort of strange things.
David Allison, do you want to come in?
Yes, freedom of control my laughter. what I've just been listening to is one of the most hilarious hatchet jobs on the BNP I've heard in a long time, and this by somebody who purports or is purported to be its publicity officer.
Are you a communist, sir?
No, I'm not.
Are you a communist?
No, I'm not a communist.
What are you then?
I'm a Scottish nationalist, as it happens.
Same thing. Okay, that was a joke. Okay, listen, it's 9:54. Thank you very much. We're way late with the travel news. Here's Michelle. John Kavanagh, I'm so... I recognise the guy's voice, but it's interesting that because he would not give his own name, but was quite happy for somebody else's address to be put out.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was all a bit dispiriting, really, wasn't it?
Don't be dispirited.
I mean, but once again, it just comes back to, I mean, if you trust in the British public or any sensible civil society, give people, time like that man or Nick Griffin or anybody else, and the public can make up their mind. The worst thing, and the same applies to people telling, horrifically tasteless jokes on Twitter or tweeting something irresponsible or whatever. Ultimately, peer pressure and the way society sorts itself out, you don't need to sort of get the heavy hand of the law and criminalizing what is kind of unsavory speech, in my opinion. Things, we're a better society than that. You only criminalize, in my opinion, you only really go after people if what they do is intended directly, in my opinion, to cause violence or harassment.
Okay, there you are. Steve in Liverpool. It's free speech is all about defending people that you disagree with, Steve.
Nicky, I agree with that, because if free speech has to come off the prescribed list, it's not free. Gladstone, and I'll quote Gladstone, he used to say, "Of course I wish to hear your opinion as long as it's the same as mine." Now, here's an irony, if you don't mind. I'll just be quick on this one. You've got this Nick Griffin fella, and he puts his head above the parapet. There's no two ways about that. But so did those two homosexuals. They must have known that when they started taking the actions they did, it was somehow going to backfire on them.
What do you mean?
Well, it's a bit like putting your head in the lion's mouth, isn't it?
Yeah? Why is that?
Oh, no, come on. What I'm getting at is this. Every action has got a reaction. And they must have known when they complained about the B&B that there was going to be like an alternative opinion to theirs, or something was going to happen.
But the couple, when it comes to the couple, the B&B owners broke the law, yeah?
Yeah, but it's a law that was passed by Parliament, and by the way, there's no foxes in Parliament, if you know where I'm coming from. Because you know what I'm talking about.
Fox hunting. Fox hunting, you mean? Fox hunting, yeah?
Yes, of course.
Right,
and
okay.
That's where these laws... If people talk about, well, if Parliament passed a law, that it must be good, I've only got to refer back to the poll tax.
Well, listen, thank you for that, Steve, and have a good weekend. Sorry I couldn't get to Nicholas there. Thank you as well to our guests, John Kavanagh there and David Allison. John, have a good weekend. David, likewise. Okay, thank you very much for all the contributions this morning. I'll see you Monday. Weekend breakfast coming up over the weekend. And Phil Williams standing in for Victoria next. Take care.